There is nothing to fear. Now, that can't be true. There's tons of stuff to fear. Well, when we are buying into the illusions, um, the lesson today says the idea for today simply states a fact, which is not a fact to those who believe in illusions, but illusions are not facts. Okay, this has been actually one of the most powerful releases that I've done. There was one time I was completely broke. I put my last $6 in a collection plate at a church I was going to at the time and drove for 2 hours. And I had just enough gas to get where I was going, did what I needed to do. And the whole way I was saying, all fear is illusion, I surrender it to God. All fear is illusion, I surrender it to God. All fear is illusion, I surrender it to God. As I got that suggestion from Dr. David R. Hawkins, who used to teach the Course of Miracles as well. And he's who recommended the workbook of A Course in Miracles to me. And so I started doing it. But when I remember going to the bank after I did what I needed to do and asking, do I have any money? And they're like, yeah, you have $5,000. Now, I share that because not because of the linear, of course, we can have a linear explanation of this and how that money got there and why it was there. The experiential of it was all fear is illusion. It's safe to surrender. It's safe to surrender. We're coming to a place of complete and utter just letting the field handle it, letting God handle it. This lesson says the presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. The awareness that there is nothing to fear shows that somewhere in their mind, though not necessarily a place you recognize as yet, you have remembered God and let his strength take the place of your weakness. The instant you are willing to do this, there is indeed nothing to fear. So the way I like to do this for myself is all fear is illusion. I surrender it to God. All fear is illusion. Surrender the fear to God. All fear is illusion. Surrender it to God. So we're going to take a look at some illusions and where we're leaning on our own strength and where we haven't yet um, recognized yet that God and his strength are here to take the place of our weakness. And throughout today, just saying there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. The amount of fear that I've discovered in my releasing process is ridiculous. So much fear. And it's been such a relief to release more and more of this fear over time. And to just let that fear run out. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when we're doing spiritual work, there's a tendency to suppress fear rather than surrender the fear. So rather than just feel the fear through and let it run out, let it vibrate out, it gets contained and set aside and it pops up later inconveniently. It is kind of constantly sabotaging what we're doing. So with the Sedona Method style, sitting with this lesson, we're going to let that fear run and ignore the illusions that the fear is talking about. So all these thoughts like, oh, what's going to happen with my money, my relationship, my body, etc. We're just going to let that fear run and keep surrendering it to God because there's nothing to fear. That's a fact. And I won't recognize that as long as I'm believing in illusions. So just letting the illusions go, letting the fear run. Let's do it. Let's surrender fear so we can live in love. Lesson 48. There is nothing to fear. Just a fact. And can you notice where you're believing in illusions, where you want illusions to be true? There you'll find fear. What's the fear? And can you notice the belief in an illusion that goes with it? Could be a belief that I'm this body. Could be a belief that my safety lies in money or somebody else's opinion of me. Could you notice anywhere you can find fear and the illusion that goes right along with it, believing in that? Are you willing to surrender believing in that illusion? And if so, then maybe you could just allow this fear to run because there's nothing to fear. If that illusion isn't being hung on to, could you just let the fear run out? Notice the fear, just ignoring the thoughts, letting them go by, noticing the beliefs and illusions, letting them go by without grabbing them. And could you feel this fear energy that there's no justification for without a belief and illusion? Just letting this fear run, letting it run, letting it run. Letting it run, letting it run, letting it run. How much fear is there? As much as there is. This is something I've been releasing on for a long time. I can generally find more, but it gets lighter and lighter all the time. Could you let go of fear since there's no illusion you believe in anymore to justify keeping it? So powerful. If you can let go of believing in the illusion, would you let go of the fear as well? There's nothing to fear unless you're going to hang on to that illusion, which you are totally free to do. When could you let go of fear? Which simply means letting this energy run, by the way. It's not like, oh, I let go of the fear and it's all gone all of a sudden. No, it might need some time to unpack. And you might discover more and more of the illusions you're believing in that make this fear seem like a good idea to hang on to. Can you notice anything else you're believing in where fear seems justified? Well, there's a war going on. Or they're pulling people out of their homes. Or grandma's sick. She might be dying. I don't know what it is for you. Oh, the car broke down. I don't have the money. You know, whatever that is, whatever it is, could you notice that fear feeling? And that has to do with a belief in some kind of external situation being more than an illusion. So, first, are you willing to let go of the belief in that illusion? Are you willing to let go of the belief in that war? Are you willing to let go of the belief in what's happening to those people? Are you willing to let go of the belief what's happening to grandma or your car, that is something to be afraid of? That it's more than an illusion? that egos have chosen to play with. Now, if you can let go of that, all fear is illusion. I surrender it to God. Could you just notice that fear feeling behind all those beliefs? You don't have to let any of this stuff go, by the way. You don't have to release it. I'm not suggesting you do. It's just a choice. You're free to choose. There's plenty of illusions I'm not willing to let go of yet. And this is part of that discovery process. So if I can let go of insisting on believing in that illusion, that ego game, then maybe I can start to release this fear. Just letting the fear be fear, nothing to justify it, no reason to keep it. Just letting the fear feel that feeling, letting that feeling be there. Oh, this all has to do with belief in ego games and illusions. Oh, I don't need this anymore. Oh, I can just let this fear be felt. Ooh, boy, feel that feeling. Maybe it's in the chest, maybe it's in the stomach. Just letting that fear release. All fear is illusion. I release. Any reason to keep this fear that I had before, and I release this energy of fear. Just letting it go, releasing it. And maybe it goes, maybe there's more, maybe the feeling shifts. You might start to feel pretty high if you can let a lot of fear release or guilt release. Or you'll start to feel like this like high feeling if you've ever gotten high before. Because doing that drug just numbed you out to the stuff that you were suppressing and carrying. And that high feeling is always available when you let go of the negativity. I just got a big wave of it. That's why I mentioned it. Because generally we're carrying so much fear all the time. It's a very popular emotion for people to be engaging with because people really believe the ego programs and illusions are real. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a choice. It's like I used to play computer games like they mattered, like it really mattered the score I get in this game and how much money I have in the game and how many people I kill and who am I better than and who's on my team and who's on the enemy. None of it mattered. But there was a time when I really believed it did. And so, can you notice where you're playing some ego game and believing that there's something to fear? Where are you believing in illusion and saying fear is justified here because of this? Because of this world situation, because of this family situation, because of this physical body situation, because of this financial situation, because of what this person is saying about me, whatever it is. Whew, and what does that feel like? Can you notice? Now, there might be some mixed emotions, but all the negative emotions have a fear component to them. So it's anger, fear, guilt, fear, pride, fear, desire, fear, sadness, fear. And so, can you notice the illusion you're believing in, the fear that comes with it? And would you let go of believing in that illusion? It's not really a small ask. It really seems like a big deal. Like I said, when I was playing those computer games, it seemed like a big deal. And so are you willing to let go of making this a big deal? Making this illusion justification for holding on to the negativity of fear and propagating it? Could you let go of the belief in that illusion and taking it so seriously that you would prioritize fear over love? And if you could let go of the belief in that illusion, which again, it might not seem like a small ask. It's a small ask. All we're doing is letting go of something that doesn't even exist, but it could seem really real. So, first, if you can let go of the belief in that illusion, then could you notice the fear, that energy, that feeling, that vibration that's been stored up behind all this belief and all of these illusions? Can you notice that energy? Now, it might be in the gut, might be in the chest, could be anywhere in your field, might seem like it's in your body. And could you let that feeling run? Even make it bigger. Let's get all this fear energy up and just ignoring the thoughts, all the things to believe in that fear is justified. We need to keep the fear because of this, because of that. Could you just let all that nonsense go by without engaging with it and let this fear come up? Really let yourself enlighten from all this fear baggage, just letting that feeling vibrate, letting it be felt, experiencing it moment by moment. And could you just surrender this fear to God, since all the beliefs about why fear is justified are illusions? Could you just surrender this fear feeling moment by moment by moment, turning it over, surrendering more and more, just feeling that feeling, surrendering it to God moment by moment by moment. All fear is illusion. I surrender it to God. All these beliefs that I had that told me fear was what I should be feeling and prioritizing. Nope, I'm going to let that go. Let those beliefs go. Let this feeling go. I surrender this to Thee, O Lord. In truth, there is nothing to fear. And there seems to be more of this feeling. I'll just surrender some more. All fear is illusion. I surrender it to God. There is nothing to fear. As long as I keep believing in these illusions, oh, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. It'll seem like fear is justified. But now I know, oh, it's just another ego game, another ego illusion that I've been playing. Maybe I could let that go. I guess I could let that go. I guess I would let that go. And all this fear no longer justified. There is nothing to fear. I surrender this fear to God. And that's it, folks. There's nothing to fear. This is one of those lessons you take all the way. Could you allow yourself to just remind yourself throughout the day today, as often as possible, there is nothing to fear? And if you notice that feeling come up, just let it run a little bit. Just surrender it to God, turn it over, and watch how high you might start to get as you relinquish more and more of this fear coming from beliefs and illusions. Thank you so much for joining us, and have the best day you can.